So you're going to acknowledge that today there is a correction to the record, and this is the correction. Right now, unfortunately, Dara's misrepresentation online of information about something I posted concerning earlier. They are saying that the young person of concern is 3 years younger than it was publicly announced she was at the time. I understand what this is about. There's somebody else that they've been trafficking that I've been witness to for 3 years that I believe they're trying to flip in order to accomplish what? Future acts of extortion. Future acts of extortion like the one that just ended for me on May 15th of 2020. Now, I already know that you've done something very disreputable, and it's something that has far reaching consequences. When you allowed for me, while I was in Honduras, to be used in manners where somebody set up fake accounts concerning my identity, laundered very, very, very high level assets through them for redistribution to other people in manners that were completely illegal, and also transposed elements of my identity, including assets associated with those laundered accounts, to the account of another woman who happens to share my birthday. She wasn't born the same year I was. She's a younger model. But I already know that because it is allowed for it to be understood that she holds a position of prestige in her country, that somebody decided it was okay to launder my life and my world and people that I knew in order to be made available for somebody else's advantage. This past May 15th, there was a 30-year bond that came to maturity. I was 13 years old when that bond was taken out. That does not belong to anybody else. I fulfilled all of the terms. As a matter of fact, I posted publicly on YouTube how I met the obligations of a 30-year bond nobody even told me they were using to traffic me for the last 30 years. By May 15th of 2020, any obligations associated with me, my identity, or anything I had been connected to previously were fulfilled. You had no right to try to launder my life for somebody else who's more politically compliant with your organized crime, and then deposit what was left into the account of the other person whose birthday is the next day, just because he's the senior you selected to make me a retirement bonus for, instead of the other ones you offered me previously that I refused to sleep with. You're dealing with this today. I fulfilled the terms of that 30-year bond by May 15th of 2020. I have all the information I need. I did also post it publicly. I understood that at that time it was being used for an act of money laundering, so I took it offline. I still have the information. I still have the evidence. I've also continued to maintain my own obligations and responsibilities in accordance with what I understand people who allege that they're legitimately elected to public office should have been doing, instead of whatever the hell else it is that they think they were doing. Additionally, I fulfilled certain terms for self-insurance as opposed to bonding. I have never consented to be used in any sort of collateralization connected to municipal financing, especially in association with having been defrauded and trafficked, specifically and strategically trafficked, in order to be used in acts of money laundering and attempted for extortion into cooperation with organized crime. I have reported in numerous cities. I've also been on the record as a journalist reporting on important social and political issues officially in publications that are noted and are still ongoing. It is not my fault that at some time somebody else decided they were going to take my life and try to require me to be illicitly engaged in some sort of unconstitutional secret service to launder money for their campaign. That is no longer an option. You are going to take these 5 people. You are going to take these 5 people, understanding that they were in the public trust, understanding that they were murdered, understanding that thus far none of their colleagues and nobody has called for an inquiry or pursued prosecution of the murderers. You are going to take them and you are going to provide insurance on investigation of prosecution for their murders as well as prevention against strategically coordinated acts of political murder in order to cover up for organized crime that infiltrated the government. That's a senator, a congressman, a mayor, an attorney general, and a public defender. Somebody banked on getting away with murdering them. They're not going to.